Hey everyone, welcome back. We are moving on to our day 2 Goddess Purnima practice. Day 2 of a 9-day practice where we are building up to the final day of July 21st, which is Guru Purnima. I'm lovingly referring to it as Goddess Purnima this year, honoring the ultimate guru, which is goddess, which is the universe, which is divine source intelligence, knowing that the universe is inherently feminine and within her is held all of creation, the masculine, the feminine, all of it. And so this year we are doing a 9-day practice together to support you, to support us all in coming into the most beneficial energetic space so that we can powerfully co-create with the universe on our final day. And all of the work we're going to be doing over the days leading up to that final day is co-creative practice. This is practice of connecting with different aspects of universal intelligence, of examining our inner world, of working with light and energy in ways that, again, bring us into the right container to allow the universe to work with us in powerful ways. So if you're just tuning in and you didn't do the day 1 practice, you can do this practice without doing day 1, but to get the full benefit of what we're doing here together, I recommend going back to the last video, starting at day 1, no matter when you're starting, and moving your way through the full 9 days. Even if you skip a day in between, that's okay, knowing that time and space is just an illusion. And I'm anchoring us to the Goddess Purnima timing in July of 2024. So no matter when you're watching this, this will be a beneficial process for you. You'll get the benefit, but to get the full benefit, follow along from day 1 so that you're really anchored into this container with us. Okay, so we'll start our day 2 practice by opening sacred space and coming into some stillness together. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. So just taking a moment to connect with your breath. Finding that place of stillness in between breaths. Allowing your in-breath to bring new life force energy into your system, into your body, allowing that energy to move wherever it needs to move. Just noticing how your body feels today, noticing what thoughts might be present, and just allowing it, not fighting it. Maybe even offering some love to yourself as we breathe together. And just continuing to let your in-breath lengthen, letting your out-breath lengthen, slowing down the body, calming the nervous system, coming into a state of peace and relaxation. Allowing that life force energy as it moves through your body and your system with that in-breath, allowing that to bring total relaxation and rejuvenation to your body, your mind, your heart, your energy field. And just continuing this process of breathing gently, slowly, giving yourself this gift the gift of this time and space. And continuing to breathe and relax, I'll begin to chant our opening mantras, bringing us into our sacred space today. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Suklam Padadadam Vishnu Sachivanam Chaturbhujam Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Sarvavignopashanti. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right. So as we come into this space together today, we'll continue our intentions from yesterday and inviting the divine intelligence of Source, our team in spirit, all of our allies in spirit to support us in this gorgeous co-creative process, to be with us, guiding us, whispering to us, illuminating the path forward clearly for our lives in ways that bring the highest good, the highest, most beautiful outcomes, the highest harmony, the highest heavenly experience to earth. And today we call on the west direction. So you might take a moment to find the west direction where you are, maybe turning to the west and honoring the west and calling our allies from the west direction, calling that direction to support us in facing our fears, in facing death, and in integrating an understanding of death as part of the cycle of life. And in the west direction, we fearlessly transform. The west direction supports us in moving into the north direction, which is where we start to access more of our soul's gifts and inherent power, and where we start to align with the will of spirit, where we start to align with the path that is right for our soul. But to get there, we need to face our fears. To get there, we need the help of the west direction to support us in transforming. The west direction can also help us work with our mind, can help us identify limiting beliefs or ways we're using our mind that might be preventing us from experiencing our highest good, or might be preventing us from embodying our soul's fullest potential. So the west direction is also about limiting beliefs and helping us excavate those and helping us rewrite stories. So today we're going to do a journey to the lower world. We're going to ask for the Father aspect of universal consciousness, the Dattatreya aspect of consciousness that is the keeper of the lower world. We're going to ask that He grants us access to our inner world, to our lower world, to the realm of our soul, to the realm of the past. And when we do this journey, we'll find some limiting belief or some story or some past event that just isn't true. It was just a distorted experience. It was a negative belief we took on, or it was some sort of story that got created that isn't true for us anymore, that doesn't have to be true for us anymore. So we're going to go find that, and we're going to ask that the keeper of the lower world help reveal that in the most benevolent, peaceful, supportive ways possible. We're going to ask that the keeper of the lower world continue to work with us in excavating our beliefs and the stories we hold within ourselves and about this world and about what is true and about what is possible. We're going to ask that those shifts occur in benevolent, easy ways. We're going to ask that today we are supported in writing a new story, a more empowering story as we do this journey. So to prepare, find a place where you can just be comfy and lay back. Maybe be seated, kind of laying back where you can just let go and relax. This will be about a 10-minute meditation journey that we'll do together, and we'll go to the lower world by journeying through the world tree. The world, you can visualize the world tree as this grand, majestic tree that connects all the way down into Mother Earth's belly and all the way up into the heavens. And so we're going to use that tree to journey down. And when we get there, when we get to the lower world, you'll find your inner garden. So we'll start there, which is a beautiful place to start, and a place you can return anytime for some rejuvenation, for peace, for connecting with Mother Earth. And as we journey down into Mother Earth's belly, we'll ask that she continues to support us with yesterday's intention of letting go. So any heavy, dense energy we're carrying, anything we're ready to just slough off and let go of, we're going to ask that as we pass through her streams and go deep into her belly, that she just takes that from us and that we let it go. And then we'll find our inner garden, and we'll start there, and the keeper of the lower world will come meet us. And then we'll go to 4 chambers that are the chambers of your soul. And this is where we'll access some past event, some limiting belief or old outdated story or soul contract. You can think of a soul contract as kind of like a belief or a story that gets written that the universe is using to present our reality and our experiences. We're going to find that, and if we don't like it, we're going to change it. We're then going to call back some of our power. We're going to call back some of our soul's energy that maybe we lost, that just hasn't been living with us because we were carrying some of these outdated stories. So when we change the story, when we let go of those old limiting beliefs, whatever's been holding us back, we can call more of our power back to us. So we're going to do that. We're going to come home with more of our soul power. And then we're going to go to the final chamber, which is a really cool chamber, the Chamber of Treasures. And you're going to find some gift, either some aspect of your soul's talents and skills and abilities that you're ready to like fully reclaim now, or it might be a gift from spirit. It might be something symbolic. Sometimes you see an object, or you just know that something has come to you. So just trust the process and know that sometimes it's not always super visual. Sometimes what we do in this meditation will then continue to be revealed to you throughout your practice and your life. So just trust that whatever happens in this meditation is meant to be. And even times I haven't had super visual experiences, I'm still experiencing some big shifts, and I'm still experiencing the ability to rewrite stories for myself, or to install new, more empowering beliefs for myself. So just trust. And know that as we face our fears, sometimes, the idea of finding a limiting belief, or finding a block, or finding a past event that has, challenged us, or created a negative scenario for us. Sometimes just the process of taking that step can be facing a fear. So know that the fact that we're doing this together today is West direction work. We are facing a fear. We are fearlessly going into our inner world to find what we need to find, to love it, to bear witness to it, and to then write a new story for ourselves. So there's nothing to fear. All right, so just getting yourself into a comfortable position, lying back. Remembering that you are completely enclosed in that pyramid of light, remembering that that beautiful white column of light from Mother, Father, Source is beaming down through all of your chakras, creating this beautiful continuous flow of white light through your system, around you, knowing that this beautiful energetic pyramid of white light surrounds you, keeping you protected and safe as we journey, knowing that you're already connected to Mother Earth's belly with that golden cord of light that emanates from your root. And as you journey, we're following that golden cord of light down and beginning to see your feet planted firmly on Mother Earth, seeing yourself standing in a field, seeing and feeling the grass beneath your feet, seeing the path in front of you illuminated by the full moon. And just ahead, standing in the light of this full moon, is a gorgeous, majestic tree, the world tree that connects the lower world and upper world in the here and now. And knowing that as you approach this tree, the keeper of the lower world is beckoning you to enter and journey down to your inner garden. And as you approach this tree, you ask if you can enter. And the tree says yes, but you must leave behind what is heavy. You cannot take your body. So you step out of your body and into the tree now, and you feel a beautiful shimmering light surround your body, a stream of light that flows through this tree, connecting the upper world and lower world. And this light begins to move you down, 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 down through the trunk of the tree, down into a root, following this root down into Mother Earth's earth, down into the dirt, into the bedrock, following this root down as it winds between stones and boulders, following this root as it gets skinnier and goes even further and further and further down. And as it finds an underground stream, you exit this root and into that underground stream, letting that water wash over your soul, your energy, letting that water wash away what is not for you to carry, allowing that stream to guide you further down, down, down into Mother Earth's core, down into her belly. Seeing this stream, this underground river, wrap around boulders, flow through underground caverns. And as you continue to flow through this stream, there you see it just ahead, a beautiful beach. And here you exit into your underground inner garden, held safely in the belly of Mother Earth. And just noticing what you see, what you feel in this garden, knowing that this is your personal garden that you get to tend to, that you can come back to, that you can cultivate, that you can create. and just seeing what's there today. Noticing the qualities of this inner garden, noticing what plants might be present, noticing what it feels like, what it looks like. And before we meet the keeper of the upper world, we'll take a moment to make the garden just a little more beautiful today. So just imagining the most beautiful plant or tree or space that you would like to create in this garden. And just allowing that to come into form now. Just seeing that effortlessly arrive in your inner garden. There it is, right in front of you. You just created it. You just changed your inner garden. Just seeing, acknowledging how easy that was, how fun that was. And knowing that every time you come to this inner garden, you get to change it, you get to play with it, you get to create what feels good to you and what feels right. And as you now bask in this inner garden and the glow of that beauty you just created, the keeper of the lower world steps forward to meet you. And the keeper of the lower world begins to guide you just around a corner. And around this corner, you see a set of doors, 4 doors, each one leading to an inner chamber of your soul. And the keeper of the lower world guides you to the first chamber. And you step in front of that door, and the keeper of the lower world tells you that as you enter this chamber, you will see, perceive, experience, feel, know an event that happened in the past that informed some sort of distorted experience of your reality now, a past wound, a past trauma, a past event. And just observing it, knowing that it does not need to be relived. We're just observing it briefly, and you step into this chamber now as the door opens and see that past event clearly. Again, just observing, just noticing what's there. Very good. As soon as you have it, we now exit the chamber. We're not lingering. We're not giving energy to it. We're just noticing that that was there. And we're now moving to the second chamber, and the keeper of the lower world guides you to now examine a soul contract, a story that was written from that past event. And the door opens and you enter this chamber, and on a table in front of you is a parchment. And you see clearly on that piece of parchment the phrase, the sentence, the contract, the belief related to that past event. Just letting it come to you. And now immediately next to that piece of parchment is another piece of parchment, a new piece of parchment where you can write a new contract, a new story, a new belief that is more true for you, that is more empowering. And you now write that, anchoring this new contract between you and spirit, between you and the divine intelligence of this universe. Knowing that what has been true for you no longer needs to be true, and you write your truths. You state and claim your new truths. And you now see the keeper of the lower world behind you, and you give this scroll, this parchment, to the keeper of the lower world. and it is done. And the keeper of the lower world now guides you out of this chamber into the third chamber. Here, as the door opens, you enter and you see a version of yourself that is whole and complete and empowered. And just noticing how that version of yourself looks, acts, behaves. And we now call that version of yourself to you, to come home to you, to reintegrate. And you ask this version of yourself, is there anything that you need to do? Anything that you need to take care of in your life for this version of yourself to be you, for this part of you to come home to you? Knowing that you can continue to commune with this part of yourself later, you invite this part of yourself to come with you as we continue this journey, and you exit that chamber and now are guided to the fourth chamber. And here the door opens and you enter the chamber of treasures, where you see a gift, a treasure. And just letting it come to you in whatever way it comes to you, knowing it's perfect. And bringing this with you now as you exit this chamber. And the keeper of the lower world stops you here and asks you to look just ahead, because a power animal has come to you that will support you in your work going forward, that will support you in your west direction work, that will support you in this reintegration process. So just taking a moment to meet this power animal. To experience what it has to offer you and inviting it to come with you, knowing it is now an ally for you in spirit. And the keeper of the lower world guides you back around the corner to your inner garden, where you can take one more moment to feel the shifts that have just occurred, to perceive this garden that is now beginning to blossom, this garden that is now beginning to be cultivated. This garden that could become the most beautiful garden that you've ever experienced. And just allowing that to stay with you as we begin to exit, and you find your way back to that beach, back to that underground stream, and you jump in it, allowing the water now to carry you up, 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 up through those boulders, through those caverns, up, 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 winding its way through the underground inner caverns of Mother Earth, finding that root that you took to journey down, and now entering that root, going up, 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 up through the world tree as that root gets wider and wider, as it reaches closer and closer to the surface of the earth, continuing to go up, up, up into the trunk of the tree, feeling that beautiful stream of energy that connects the upper world and the lower world and the here and now. And you step back out into the here and now, into your body, coming back into this day and time, taking a moment to wake up and wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, allow a little movement to come back into your body. And maybe taking a moment to grab your journal and journal for a few moments about your experience, noting that new contract that is now installed, noting what you found in the first and second chambers, noting how you perceived that version of you that is coming home to you, noting the gift or treasure that was waiting for you in the fourth chamber. And I'll invite you to continue this journaling exercise after we wrap up the video, journaling with these different aspects of consciousness that you met in the lower world can be a really, really supportive process for integration. I would invite you to journal with that part of yourself that you found in the chamber of grace, that third chamber we went into. Talk to that part of yourself. Journal on a piece of paper and talk to it. Ask it what gifts it contains. How does that part of you want to show up in your life now? What can it teach you? What sort of power and intelligence and creative ability does that part of you have now that it's coming home to you? And how can you use it? How can you work with it? How can you integrate it? How can you become it? You can also do that for the treasure that you found. Sometimes what we see or experience in these journeys is highly symbolic. And when we journal and talk directly to that thing, that object, that consciousness, we can have this really interesting exchange. And this is kind of like a subconscious channeling exercise when you're doing this journaling process. So let's say you found a feather in the treasure, in the chamber of treasures. Well, you might journal and talk to the feather. Hi, feather, welcome. I'm so glad to meet you. What are you bringing to me? What do you symbolize? What am I supposed to learn from you? How can you support me? Like, what gifts are you here to present to me? Talk to it. Let it teach you. And then you can also do that for the power animal. The power animal contains an entire intelligence of its own, and it's an entire way of operating that can be so supportive for you. So talk to the power animal and think about how that power animal is now supporting you and how it can continue to support you. One practice that I love, that I learned from the Four Winds Society, that I think is highly supportive for this sort of work, is feeding these new parts of ourselves or power animals with light. So I would invite you to think about that power animal you received. Think about the gift that you received. Think about that version of yourself, that part of yourself, that part of your soul's energy that's coming home to you. And think about which chakra might be most appropriate for that energy to live. And if you're not sure, just bring it to your heart, because the heart can distribute it wherever it needs to go. So let's just start with that part of yourself, that part of your soul that's coming home. Tune into that right now and invite it into one of your chakras. You might even blow it into your hands and bring it into one of your chakras. Let's do that now also for the gift, for the treasure we received. And then let's also do it for the power animal. So just tuning in to whichever chakra feels most appropriate. And then now with your candle, knowing that fire is light, fire is like a miniature sun when we're working with it. So let's bring light to the chakras where you placed that energy of your soul, where you placed the energy of that gift, where you placed the energy of that power animal. And you can just use your hands to gather up energy and bring it into your system. And you might continue this over the course of the next 9 days to continue feeding that energy that we worked with today, to continue reintegrating that energy, to give your new power animal spirit fuel and energy to grow in your being. So when we're feeding light into our chakras and into our system, we're feeding ourselves with light. It's kind of like standing out in the sun. We're asking the light to come into our system and inform the renewal and the rejuvenation of our system. Okay. So continue that journaling exercise for integration purposes and to commune and see what you gather, see what symbolic information is there that the universe is wanting to reveal to you at this time. And continue developing your relationship with the keeper of the lower world. For those who are familiar with Hinduism or are advanced yogic practitioners, the keeper of the lower world might be representative of Brahma and that generating consciousness. So you can think of how everything that is programmed into our inner world, all of our beliefs, all the soul contracts, all of the information that is contained within us is giving rise to this physical reality, is giving rise to everything we're experiencing. That is Brahma consciousness. That is what is feeding the Maya, the illusion of physical reality. So when we learn how to work with the keeper of the lower world, and we learn how to work with our inner world in these ways, especially in ways that are alchemy and transmutation of past old energies into new, higher energies, we are then giving the Maya, the illusion of physical reality, something new to work with. So we want to really build our relationship with the keeper of the lower world, even if we're not doing these sorts of meditation journeys all the time. Just developing that relationship is going to support us in tuning in to our internal reality, tuning into beliefs and ideas and soul contracts that might be outdated and need to be rewritten. So we can start to understand how the keeper of the lower world really gives us access to our subconscious, gives us access to more information about our soul, and gives us access to the intelligence of spirit, the intelligence of this universe, the intelligence of these other aspects of consciousness, right? So we can start to gather treasures, gather back our soul power, gather power animals, gather all of these aspects of intelligence that can work with us and help us come into wholeness in whatever way is right for us in this life. So the keeper of the lower world, that aspect of Father consciousness, is going to help us with that. And so that's why we're working with that aspect today and with the West direction, because we do have to be fearless in changing our beliefs and transforming our inner world to allow our outer world to transform. That's part of the game. That's part of what we're here to do, especially right now on Earth. So I ask that your relationship with the keeper of the lower world develop in ways that are in alignment with divine will, that are in alignment with your highest good, manifesting in the highest good of all in this world manifesting. And with that, we'll begin to wrap up our practice for today. Let's do one short offering to the fire, just reinforcing some of the work we did yesterday and reinforcing the work we did today. I'm going to invite you to think about that new contract, that new belief that you installed in the lower world, or that you might be working on. If you didn't have something specific you worked on in the lower world, know that you'll have opportunity to do that. So it's okay if it's not real specific right now. But But let's blow the intention of that new belief, that new contract, even if that new belief or that new contract is purely to be in alignment with your highest good, and to let the old drop away and to let the old transform. Whatever it is, whatever that new empowering belief is for you, blow it into this bay leaf and we'll give it to the fire together. All right. And then let's also blow an intention for Mother Earth and all of her children into this leaf as well. Mine was, thank you for how Mother Earth's children are remembering how to create in beauty. Okay, let's give it to the fire. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So remember that as the days pass, as time goes by, you'll continue working with the south direction and the west direction, and you'll be supported by the keeper of the lower world and by that new power animal that is with you. And I encourage you again to spend time each day, maybe after you've done the mantras or before the mantras, if you're following along in this 9-day process, spend time communing with these new aspects of yourself that you're connecting with. Because all of these aspects of consciousness that we're connecting with, that we're learning about, they're all you. They're all part of you. They all live within you, which is why we can find them and why we can work with them. So remember that too, that this is about learning about you and inviting these aspects of consciousness back to you that we've just forgotten or that we just haven't learned how to work with properly. So just remember that this is a highly interactive process with the intelligence of the universe. And when you open to that and you really allow it and do these journaling exercises and really commune and feed light into your system as we're working with these different aspects of consciousness, you're going to start to have some really interesting different experiences of your reality. So I'm excited for you to have that experience. Thank you for being with me today, and tomorrow we'll continue working with Father consciousness. We will work with the north direction and start working our way towards communing with goddess intelligence as we get closer to the day of Goddess Purnima. Okay, I'll close us out with our closing mantras and then we'll wrap up for today. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Heaven on earth is embodied now. Heaven on earth is embodied now. Heaven on earth is embodied now. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.